These are some dangers of dating an older man. This is coming from someone that dated someone 20 years older than me, and I definitely paid a price for that. There are definitely some key things that I took away from this dynamic that I will never ever date an older man again. A lot of older men that are probably at least 20 years older than you, 30 years older than you, they go after young women specifically because young women don't have the same life experience as someone obviously in their age range, right? They know this and they love knowing how naive and how little life experience we have because it's easier for them to control you. They don't want to date a woman that is a little bit more mature and actually has had life experience because they don't want to have to combat or deal with a woman that actually knows her worth and like has her frontal lobe developed. Like they don't want that. They want someone compliant. They want someone that's actually just gonna do whatever that they say they like knowing that they're convincing you to be on their side of things because you don't know enough yet to even have your own opinion.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
All right, this obviously very experienced nose ring having queen says with confidence that the reason that older men want to date younger women is because they want to prey on them for their naivety and they're easier to control. She also said that the reason they don't want to date women their own age is because they don't want to combat her knowing her worth. I just have to ask one obvious question starting off. What orifice did you pull this garbage out of there, sister? All right, first of all, let me explain to you something. The reason older men don't like to date older women isn't because they know their worth. It's because those women are almost always set in their ways, have a lot of baggage, and they bring a lot of headaches to the table and have a lower SMV than a younger woman. That right there kind of sums up the initial reasons why an older man would want to date a younger woman. There are other reasons, like men are hardwired to be attracted to youth and beauty, or a man may want to have children and he knows that having children with a younger woman is far safer than having children with an older woman. I have a theory when women start talking like this, and I believe as they get older, they find out that they're competing against women who are younger. So they try their best to cut down the competition by putting out this propaganda piece. And it is as effective as a gender studies degree.
It's really about a power and control dynamic. And especially if a man has been through so many relationships, he's like this bachelor and he's going after young women. In my opinion, that's definitely a red flag, especially if this man has never been married before and he's like in his 40s or 50s. Definitely I would take that with a grain of salt. Also, a lot of these men do tend to give you false hope and lie to you. Like they can say that they really want a serious relationship with you, but they know they're using like your good years. They're aware of that. So they'll give you false hope, but no commitment ever really comes. They'll dip their toe in a little bit, but not fully. You gotta be very careful with these types of guys. Also, a lot of these older men are not very emotionally mature. Even though they're older, that does not mean they are more mature. If anything, they're actually way more immature. A lot of these older men are very much stuck in their ways. Like there's no room for growth. Like it's either their way or the highway. There's no room for them to see your perspective. They want everything to go their way. That is why they want to date younger so that they can manipulate them into doing things that they want you to do. And they don't want you to say anything about it. And if you do argue, they're going to manipulate you to see their side and you're going to just do what they want. If you are going to date older, I say nothing more than 10 years because at least you'll be in the same life goals, life expectancies, a little similar. It's going to be a better dynamic for you. So just be very careful out there. Remember to stay safe and I love you.
Who hurt you?
Oh ho, the power and control dynamic. You mean to tell me that older men have learned the tactics that women have been using since day one, and that bothers you? That they know what they're doing? I mean, according to her, men in their 40s and 50s dating younger women are red flags. Question there, my contradicting queen. Was it a red flag when you were dating an older man and you were having the time of your life and he was treating you the way you wanted to be treated? Because you kind of snitched on yourself. You followed that up by saying that they give you false hope and there's no commitment. So the reason you're talking like this is because you dated an older guy who, as you said, used you for your better years, but didn't give you a ring. I mean, explain this to me. Did someone put a gun to your head and mandate you to be with this guy? Or was that your own choice? Because you were infatuated with him. It's just as time rolled on, you wanted more, but you didn't get it. But now comes the best part. She said that older men are not emotionally mature. They're actually immature, and they're set in their ways, and there's no room for growth. Allow this gorilla to use my better than average womanese translator. In other words, you're saying he's immature because he's not going to see things your way, which he already knows. Hey, your way is not the correct way. Yeah, I'm not going to see it that way because I've been through this already. You're saying he's set in his ways and no room for growth. In other words, more likely you were with a divorced one. He's already been through the circus of family court and he's already decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going through that again. If you want to be with me, be with me. I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to put any of my assets or my earnings in danger again. Been there, done that, still paying the alimony. It sounds to me that this gem of a dating coach here wasn't able to get the ring and she feels cheated because she got out of a relationship without a payout. But don't worry, sister. I'm pretty sure a guy around your age is going to treat you so much better. All you have to do is go get one of those simp orbiters and promise him everything you already gave to the older guy you were dating. He may not have as many resources, but he's blue pill beta enough to fall for your pink taco trap. Before we move on, I want to bring attention that 70% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
Hello everybody. On a daily basis, I get a question from one of you guys asking me to talk about dating older men. And as you guys know, I did date somebody who was much older than me. And I don't really like talking about it. Nor do I think it makes any sense to give advice on how to pursue a relationship like the one that I was in, because it was nothing I would encourage anyone to pursue. I'm not here to bash. I'm here to give advice on what to be cautious about when dating an older man. First thing about dating older men is that those who lead with charm are often hiding a lot behind it. 2. Age does not equal maturity. Just because somebody has a lot of life experience doesn't mean that they learned anything from those experiences. And just because they have a fully developed brain does not mean that they're fully developed emotionally.
All right, let's look at the points that this young 22-year-old Colleen is saying about dating an older man. Now, she says that men that lead with charm are hiding something behind it. Yeah, probably the intentions of dating you. Although I do understand where you're coming from, as you feel that there is not so honor behind his intentions when they come at you, let me shed some light as to what is happening that you may not understand in your young age. Almost always, when young women want to date older men, they have a vision in their heads. Probably something that they read in a book or saw in a movie. They just expect older men to have incredible charm and to sweep them off their feet. It doesn't really work that way. Because to a 22-year-old, you would think that a man who's 27 is far older and should have incredible life experience and should know a lot better. He's not that much older than you are. The issue with this line is you're expecting a guy who's 5 years older than you to act like a man who's 15 years older than you and having those resources. And that flows into your second point where you said age does not equal maturity. Again, you're dating a guy who's not that much older than you are. In the grand scheme of things, you're both in the same age bracket. I'm not saying this young woman is wrong. I'm saying that she really needs to readjust her targeted group there because I think she's getting the age disparity mixed up there.
I feel like an older man who kind of sounds like this. I'm a man, and I work out. And I work out while eating steak and listening to my... is insufferable. Let me see you act like a man and not talk about yourself like you are one. I don't know what number I'm on, but be aware of the attention seekers. The kind of older men that constantly need validation from other areas. And this is coming from me, the biggest attention seeker in the entire world. I'm kidding. I'm not. I'm not saying it's okay when I do it, but if you're a man and you find yourself posting on your Instagram story for some attention, you might need to reevaluate your life's decisions. This is coming from a 22-year-old. That's all I have to say right now. I'm sure I have a lot more in this chamber of secrets to unleash to you guys. Let me know if you guys want a part 2.
Are you sure about that?
All right, that was a terrible impersonation. On top of that, her point of men posting on Instagram confirms to this gorilla she is dating men that are not that much older than she is. To that, I have to say to this young queen, you are the victim of your own delusion if you believe that a man who's just 3, 4, 5 years older than you is supposed to have the life experience, the resources, and the attitude of a man who's in his mid-30s on up. It doesn't work that way. No matter how many rom-coms you've watched or how many romantic novels you've read, they're still young and they're still partying, kind of like you. Now, what I find ironic is this 22-year-old is there saying to men, if you're posting on Instagram, you have to reevaluate your life decisions. When you put a mirror to that, honey, you're doing the exact same thing. You really aren't anyone to give out any advice here. I'm just going to say it how it is. You're going for the Chad/Tyrones. The players, the guys who sweet talk you, but they really don't have anything to go with. While all the good guys are in your friend zone. Oh, and about your friend zone, you may not care about it now, but about a decade post-wall, you're going to be looking back into it, thinking, where did those guys end up? Believe that.
You guys, I have officially given up on relationships. Ever since I got sober 5 months ago, I said to myself, Katie, you are going to be not sober, of course sober, but I'm not going to be in a relationship for 2 years. And that's coming from someone that is a serial dater, okay? I haven't been single since I was like a teenager, all right? So that's a pretty big deal. But you know, within these 5 months, I've been thinking, and I'm thinking that if I get back in the game, it's gonna be dating an older man. Because these older men out here, man, they know how to hold a conversation. Some are a little creepy. If you know, some, I don't want too old. But I'm talking 56. I mean, you know, I'm 35, baby. Let's talk. They're more stable. They're a little bit more cultured. They're a little bit more worldly. You know, they got wisdom, baby. Tell me all your wisdom. I need some, you know, you got a house. You got it's already paid for. You got a car, it's already paid for. You all set, baby. Now all you need is love and me. Let's start dating these older men, y'all. These new men out here, they be weird. They weird. These old classics, the OGs out there, let's start dating them.
Him, her, bodies.
All right, so at least this one is completely honest. Now, she says she's in her mid-30s and she wants a guy that's all the way up to 56. She's still a little bit cute and she can offer the youth, but the obvious must be said. See, there's a huge red flag over your head right now that you're not understanding. And I chose this video because I want to show my female viewers what men see when they date a younger woman. And when she said that she has been sober 5 months, that is the red flag I'm talking about. See, honey, you have to understand something. You are what older men with assets to lose would consider damaged goods. Not every older man is going to date a younger woman just because she's younger. With that experience and wisdom comes a far better vetting process. And whatever demons you've been fighting with, girl, guess what? A guy in his 50s who has his house paid off and he's got everything going for him, he's not going to want to deal with that crap. In fact, the most that you're going to get out of him will probably be him taking you to his house, escorting you into his bedroom. Then he takes you to Pound Town, takes you on a couple dates, makes you feel wonderful. And then once you start showing your first day of, I'm about to slip, things are getting messed up, that's when he's gonna drop you off at the corner where he picked you up at. Am I saying this is the right thing to do? No, I'm saying reality here, sister. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. If you're gonna get with a man in his 50s that doesn't mind this kind of stuff, it's probably because he probably went through something similar and now he has his own house and he has his own stuff. That is what you should be gunning for. I highly recommend you. Girl like you should be looking for an auto mechanic in his 50s or a construction foreman. Definitely several levels above you and doable. And more than likely the queens who are older than you are, who will be competing for said man, are going to try to poison that as best they can. Which makes this gorilla wonder, how's that TikTok ban going to affect that? I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.